The American dream is to get the F out of America. I'm in Japan right now, and I can't even tell you how much better Japan is compared to America. The food is so fresh here. Like, even the food that you get at like the convenience store tastes better than any restaurant would in America. Not just that, but it's like super safe too if you're a woman. Like, you could literally just leave your Chanel bag on the table, like at a coffee shop or a restaurant, and no one's gonna steal it. Like, it was so funny. The other day, I actually saw a woman who just left her Birkin bag like on a table at the coffee shop, and she just like left it there and went to the bathroom, and it was still there when she came back. And people just have a lot more respect for each other. I feel like every time I come to America or I'm in America, it's just like fight or flight mode. Like, everyone hates each other, everyone's against each other, everyone's pitting one another against another. And honestly, like, it's just so expensive even to live in America. Like, I live in Miami and I'm about to pay like $5,000 per month on rent, and I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself just to live in like a tiny ass home that overlooks a little bit of the ocean? It just doesn't make any sense. I think the goal for the future is to make the American dollars move out, do your own thing, and just live in another country, because it's becoming very clear at this point that America just doesn't care about us.
I live and work in Spain, making roughly €1,000 a month, which in America is nothing, but in Spain is more than enough to live. I only work 16 hours a week, and I'm able to afford a super nice apartment in the city center of Madrid. Food costs me €20 a week. My electric bill is like €30 a month. I don't have to worry about gas or a car payment or insurance because the public transportation system is so world class that you don't even need a car at all. Madrid is like the New York of Spain, except if you were living in the city center of New York, you'd have to be making literally at least $5,000 a month, and that's extremely lowballing it. Just their way of life in general, like, is so much more relaxed and just taking time to enjoy life rather than just working constantly. They literally have a siesta in the middle of the day where they take 3 hours to go nap or go to a coffee shop to hang out with friends. Like, the American mind cannot fathom. It's just crazy to me because, like, you've been told growing up your whole life that America is the best country in the world. That's just so far from the truth. And it's, like, very obvious how much worse it is now that I've gotten out.
So I live in China, and the United States is not real because what do you mean? What do you mean we can get a 4-bedroom apartment with a big kitchen? Look how big this kitchen is. Look how big this kitchen is. Literally, this big old kitchen for only $1,000 a month. Like, this place is huge. Don't mind all the stuff we're cleaning right now, obviously, because you gotta clean the place before you move in. But look at this. 4 bedrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the master bedroom. Like, are you kidding? With 3 bathrooms, by the way. 1, 2, 3. The last one is in the master bedroom. So if you think that living abroad isn't lit, I don't know what to tell you, but we're about to furnish this whole place. So if you don't follow our Passport Visions page, make sure you follow our other page, but I'll be posting updates here too. So make sure you guys stay tuned and stay locked in because we're so excited to furnish this whole place. Oh my God.
America, please get me out of this place. I'm tired. I'm losing my shit. Tired. I'm fucking 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 tired.
Americans are leaving America, and it is not for vacation. It's for survival. A growing wave of Americans are packing up, terrified by Trump's dictatorship, Republican fascism, and Democrats' capitulation. Interracial couples, LGBT plus individuals, people of color, and intelligent people in general are seeing their rights replaced with restrictions. In Ireland, U.S. passport applications hit their highest level in a decade, up 60% in just 2 months. France is seeing long-term stay visas for Americans up 20%. Portugal, Spain, UK, relocation companies can barely keep up with demand. Traffic to Blacksit Global, which helps Black Americans relocate, surged 50% after the election. Some are leaving quietly, like a trans couple in Colorado, because Trump wrongly says there are only two genders. States are moving to ban gender care, so they're planning their exit. Google searches for how to leave the US spiked after the election, and real estate deals for Americans in Spain surged before the Golden Visa program was shut down. European culture is different than American culture, and many won't adjust. And of course, Europe has its issues: immigrations, taxes. Putin expected to take Moldova and then Romania with his eyes on the rest of Europe for the new Russian Empire. But a possibility of another European war is a safer bet than staying in a country that is already a fascist dictatorship.
It is so bittersweet leaving. Today is my last day in my house. Everything is empty. Everything is gone. And it's not necessarily that the things are gone, it's that I'm leaving. Like, listen. It's so peaceful back here. I would sit in my hammock and just lay back and watch the clouds. Watch the stars, watch the moon, talk to God. And it truly feels like the end this time. Like before, it didn't feel like the end. This feels like the end.
Wow, I guess these people really want to move. I mean, I guess they really aren't happy. They're trying to find peace. So people have to do what they have to do to be happy and to find that peace, even if you have to leave America. So let's continue.
So my boss didn't know that I was planning on moving out the country next year, which it's a year away. So why would she need to know? But she's like, oh, what are you going to do while you're out there? How are you going to find work? Work? You think I'm leaving America to go stress about a 9-to-5 somewhere else? She's like, well, how are you going to sustain yourself? And it just got me thinking, like, a lot of people don't know that you can live very comfortably, like on US dollars, you can live very comfortably in other countries. And I was like, you do know, like, rent at certain places is like $300-400 a month. Like, I'm going to save that up. I'm going to be gone for at least a year, so 12 months. So between rent, food, electricity, things like that, like, you can go somewhere else and not stress. I'm like, I'm just taking like a year siesta. And she is just so like, she just cannot believe it. Like, it's just so foreign. I'm like, yeah, you can leave America. It's fine.
I get a common question that I see all the time. People ask me, why did you move from the U.S. to Dominican Republic? So I decided I'm going to address that question and give you some of my reasons. I'm not going to give you all of them, but I'll give you some of them, the ones that I think were more important to me. But the others, I'm not going to say they're less important, but I'm just not going to say them here on TikTok, because people nowadays are easily offended, and I don't have time to be going back and forth with anybody on TikTok about what I believe, and nobody's going to change my mind about it. So I'm going to talk about the ones that I feel comfortable sharing here on TikTok, and I'm sure that those who are looking to move back to Dominican Republic or move to Dominican Republic or move abroad probably share some of these same feelings. And these are in no particular order, but here are 4 of my reasons. And reason number 1 is the growing tension and division in the United States. Everybody in the United States seems to be on edge about something. To me, it seems like everyone is like a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode. It also feels like everybody's just looking to be offended by something. You can't say anything, you can't do anything, because somebody out there is looking to get offended. And I'll take it a step further. The political tension and division also has gotten out of hand. We look at everybody over there as either you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, which is dumb. I don't know how we got so invested in these political parties that we'll damage relationships with long-term friends, families, jobs, and all this stuff, man. It is just crazy. I remember the time we used to debate who was better, Tupac or Biggie, LeBron or Jordan, McDonald's or Burger King, ham or burger, peanut butter or jelly, the Jetsons or the Flintstones. And now we don't do none of that no more. We're debating about politics, man. I don't have time for that, man. And not saying people are not into politics here, because they are, but not to the point, at least in my experience, to the point where they'll destroy their family. They won't talk to their kids, they won't talk to their husband, they'll get divorced. Not to that point. I hadn't seen it here. So that's number one. Number two is the high cost of living. The cost of living in the United States has just gotten bad, way, way bad. Before I moved here, I was living in Fort Lauderdale, and I was paying about $2,400 a month for a 2-bedroom and 2-bath apartment. When I moved here, I was able to cut that in half on my accommodations. But here's the kicker. The $2,400 covers all my overhead just living here. So what I was paying in Fort Lauderdale, $2,400 just on rent, that covers everything here in Santo Domingo. And of course it doesn't cover my entertainment, me going out to eat or going out to get a cigar, even going out for drinks, but it covers all my overhead. And that's still a little bit less than $2,400. It's really around $2,200, $2,300 per month. So the cost of living, as you can see, was a factor. So let's move on to number 3, the continuous rat race of the 9 to 5. Yes, now I understand not everybody can quit their job and move abroad and live in another country. And you know what? I didn't think I could either. But when I started focusing on it and putting a plan together and really dialing in on what I wanted, things started to happen for me where I was able to do it. So I had to get out of that system. I just could no longer stand that system. So now I work for myself. I was able to buy back a lot of my time to focus on some of the things that I like to do the most. And the last one is the senseless and random gun violence. Yes, the United States has gotten really dangerous over the last decade or so, where the violence just has gotten to a point where a lot of people, they are desensitized to it now. It's like when there's a mass shooting, it's like, oh, that's another one. And then the next day is business as usual, you know. And I have a daughter, and the last thing I was going to do was put my daughter in a public school in the United States and have me as a parent worried about whether she gonna come home. No, that wasn't gonna happen. And even for myself, I didn't want to be at a grocery store or at a mall or something, and some fool comes in because he's mad, poor little Johnny. I don't have time for that. And I know somebody's gonna say, but there's crime in DR. I know it is. Of course there's crime in DR. There's crime everywhere. I mean, I haven't heard of any mass shootings anywhere. I haven't heard anybody running up in a school or anything like that. I mean, if you have, then let me know. I haven't heard of that. You know, I don't feel threatened when I go to the grocery store that somebody's going to come and shoot it up. I don't feel threatened if I'm inside a church, somebody's going to shoot the church up. I don't feel threatened when I'm at a restaurant, somebody's just going to walk up and just start killing everybody. I don't feel threatened like that here. So don't try to compare the crime here to the crime in the United States. It's not comparable. Period. I don't care what you say. So don't try to convince me otherwise. So anyway, so those are some of the reasons why I decided to leave the United States and move to Dominican Republic. If you got other reasons why you're looking to move out of the country, or if you're already out of the country, what are some of the